Have you ever felt like you needed, well, a revolution from your relationship with technology? Like the constant notifications, the endless feeds, the algorithms. It all needs its own declaration of independence. Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating document that does exactly that. Let's explore this Declaration of Digital Independence.
Wow. I mean, right from the very first line, the language is just so powerful. It doesn't talk about being a little annoyed. It talks about human frustration and technological shackles. This isn't just about taking a weekend off your phone. No, this is getting at something way deeper, that shared feeling that maybe we're a little bit imprisoned by this digital world we've all built.
So why such a dramatic call to disconnect? Well, the Declaration argues it's not about escaping the world at all. It's about reclaiming our place in it. Getting back to the things that make us human to begin with, like curiosity and conscience.
Okay, so the entire argument, the whole thing, is really built on a foundation of four key principles. The Declaration calls them self-evident truths, these fundamental ideas about being human that, it claims, our digital age has kind of forgotten.
And here is the first one. Just let that sink in for a second. The human spirit was not born for metrics. It's such a simple sentence, but it's a pretty profound stand against this culture of measuring absolutely everything we find ourselves in.
And this really gets to the heart of the conflict, doesn't it? The human spirit is all about stuff you can't count. Curiosity, a gut feeling for what's true, a moral compass. Metrics, on the other hand, can only ever deal with what's quantifiable and trackable. The argument here is that the moment you try to measure the spirit, you just end up diminishing it.
The second truth follows right on its heels with that same powerful rhythm. If the spirit isn't made for metrics, then it follows that the heart, the home of our emotions and intuition, was definitely not designed for algorithms.
Yeah, you can really see the mismatch here. The heart works on intuition, empathy, real human connection. But algorithms, they're just code. They're built for optimization, for prediction, and for one main thing, keeping you engaged. They can pretend to offer connection, but they can never truly replicate it. They're just designed for two totally different things.
Oof, this third truth. This one hits right at the core of the entire internet economy. It completely reframes how we think about our focus, not as some commodity to be bought and sold, but as something deeply personal and, maybe even sacred.
So this is the big question, right? Is your attention a gift that you choose to give someone? Is it your presence? Or is it just another asset, an extractable good to be mined and sold off? This declaration argues that seeing it as just another resource is, well, deeply dehumanizing.
And the final truth? It's so simple, so direct, you can't mistake it. Four words that just slice through so much of our online social world. Likes are not love.
And it's so true. A like is a performance, it's fleeting, it's just a quick little thumbs up. But love, actual connection, that's sincere, it's enduring, and it demands real understanding. The Declaration is basically warning us not to confuse the cheap currency of likes for the actual gold of human connection. So you take them all together, and these four truths become this incredibly powerful critique of our digital world. They are the absolute bedrock that this whole Declaration of Independence is built on.
So if those are the truths, then what's the system that's breaking all of them? The Declaration uses this really chilling metaphor to describe it. It calls it the Digital Asylum.
It is such a striking image, isn't it? A global institution with no physical walls. The feeds are the wards that keep us locked in. The influencers are the orderlies making sure the system keeps running. And content is the sedative, designed to keep us all just passive and scrolling.
And what's the core value system inside this asylum? Well, this quote says it all. The whole system is inverted. It actually incentivizes performance and vanity, while real, genuine sincerity often gets completely ignored, or even worse, punished.
And these are the results of that system. The loudest, most entertaining voices, the gestures, get put on a throne. The deeper, more thoughtful voices, the prophets, just get silenced or buried by the algorithm. It creates these bizarre parasocial pantheons of false gods that we follow but don't actually know. And, maybe the most dangerous part, it mistakes the metric of engagement for the human goal of enlightenment.
So, when you're faced with a system like that, the document doesn't just complain about it, it acts. It all builds up to this one central, powerful moment of rebellion, the Declaration itself.
This is it. This is the heart of the whole thing. A declaration of sovereignty, not for a country, but for our own unfiltered selves. It's a powerful claim to our mental and our spiritual freedom.
So what does that freedom actually look like? Well, it means breaking free from the hypnotic trance of the feed. It means stepping away from the knee-jerk outrage of the digital mob, seeing through the illusion of connection with online stars, and, this is a big one, redefining success as something more meaningful than just going viral.
And this newfound independence comes with a pledge, with 3 simple but pretty radical actions: to actually think before we amplify something, to speak from a place of authenticity, not just perform for an audience, and to recognize the immense power of just choosing not to participate, that sometimes silence is the most powerful statement you can make.
So where does all this lead? Well, the declaration doesn't end on an angry note. It ends with this really hopeful vision for what could come next. It calls this new era the Age of Souls.
And this is the final, powerful vision, a turning point, the end of an era that was defined by screens and metrics, and the beginning of a brand new one dedicated to reclaiming the depth and the richness and the meaning of our own inner lives.
Ultimately, this whole declaration isn't just something to read. It's a question that it poses to every single one of us. If you were to declare your own digital independence today, what would be the very first thing you'd want to reclaim? Your attention? Your sincerity? Your time? It's a pretty powerful thought to end on.